so we're joined this afternoon by Melanie Taylor, image consultant from House of Colour. Hi, Melanie.
Hi.
So Melanie, can you tell us an image consultant? What's that? What does that involve?
Yes, I'm an image consultant. Basically, what that means is I'm an expert in making people look really good. And what really that is tied into is self-esteem. Because if you think about it, if you feel that you look good, it gives you so much more confidence in yourself. So that's very important. And I can guarantee whoever you are, if you come to me, you always leave with the knowledge of how to make yourself look much better.
Okay. So, Melanie, first of all, how long have you been an image consultant?
Well, it's quite interesting because I feel I've been an image consultant for years upon years upon years because my mother was an image consultant before me. She's she's French and she's always very chic. And then she discovered this business. And that was, so I've basically known my colours and my style thanks to her from a very young age, from my teens. So I feel like I've been sort of been involved in it for a long time, but actually doing the job myself has been since I had children, so about 7 years ago now.
Okay. And so Melanie, what sort of clients have you seen in that time coming to you?
Well, I've had a huge range of clients, all from all walks of life and all ages. I mean, the youngest I've had is 4, the oldest I've had is 80. But most of my clients, strange enough, are people who want to change something about their lives. They've come to a sort of it's a bit too strong to say crisis, but I mean more like they want to revamp, a refresh, a change in direction, and they look at their wardrobes and they want that to change. So it's sort of almost connected to life changes. So for example, I get mothers who've had children and suddenly feel a bit mumsy and frumpy and don't know how to dress anymore. I've got people who've been divorced and want to just change everything and the way they look. In fact, strange enough, I had a client very recently who had got very recently divorced, and her son was getting married, and the ex-husband was there with his new partner, and she wanted to basically look fantastic at this wedding. So that's why she came to me, and we put an outfit in which she did absolutely look so wonderful in it. But that knowing that she looked wonderful also gave her that confidence as well. So all sorts. And also, I mean, different transformations. We hit another decade, 40, 50, 60, and suddenly again we have to rethink who we are, how we want to be perceived, all sorts of things like that, really. My clients' have issues like that.
So the concerns they've got then, would you say there's a common thread, or do you think it's a whole range of fears and concerns that people coming to you have?
I think it's a whole range. There isn't really, we're all different. The common thread, I suppose that fears are different, but it all leads to the same sort of problem. How do I dress? How should people perceive me, really? So it all leads to the same thing. And actually, now I know how I should dress thanks to coming to an image consultant. Now I feel much more confident in myself and around people. And the best thing about it, and also the most difficult thing about looking good, or the knowledge on how to look good, is that when you do it, you will receive loads of compliments. You will stick out, and sometimes that can be quite scary.
Oh, right. So it's actually sometimes the positive attention that someone gets, they have to learn how to deal with that as well.
Yeah, and I actually have to go through and ask them and talk to them what do you say when you get compliments, because you'll get them when you start looking great. You don't merge into the background like most other people. You'll be standing out because you look good, and that's actually these days quite rare.
Yes. So suppose you have someone who comes to you, maybe, I don't know, a lady, maybe in her 50s, she's been divorced, and thinks, it's time to move on and for that change. Where would you start? What is it that you would do for somebody in that circumstance to get them from where they are through this transformation that you're describing?
Well, basically, there's a system to the transformation process. Basically, what we start with is we look at her colouring. And of course, this doesn't only apply to women, it applies to men too, so I do both. But we take a woman as an example. We look at her colouring, and the colours we're looking for the most flattering colours for her, and we have a system here, and it's a science. People, it's not that I say, oh, you look great in pink and blue. It is a science. It's all about the colour wheel. It's put together quite scientifically. It's all about the breakdown of colour, and we choose colours, or we find colours that suit and complement her skin tone. And lots of people think it's the colour of the skin, but it's not to do with the colour of the skin. It's to do with the tone of the skin, or the hue of the skin. So we find colours that enhance her complexion. So it could make, basically the right colours will make you look dynamic, will make you look healthy, and I even say slimmer. It's amazing the difference the right colours can make on somebody, and the wrong colours do the opposite. For example,
so what you're saying is actually a scientific process that you're going through with them.
Yeah.
To establishing the right colours. And is it just colours? Is it?
No, there's more to it. So we do the colours first, and then we look at body shape. And again, I'm looking at bone structure. So many people get completely worried that I'm actually looking at the flabby bits. No, I'm not. I'm looking at the bone structure. So and the shape of your body is very important on how we dress it and how we hang clothes on it. And the third part, which is as important, and sometimes I actually think more important, is we dress the who, the person inside. So the character of the clothes have to fit the character of the person wearing them. And we're all different personalities, we have all different colouring, we have all different body shapes. So there isn't one set thing for one person. There are so many different things to take into account for one single person.
How many sessions does someone have when they come to you? Is it a series of sessions, or is this done in one sitting, if you like? How does it work?
Basically, it's tailor-made, and it depends on the requirements of the individual involved. If she wants, for example, quite an intense revamp makeover, then we can do quite a lot of serious sessions. If she is quite happy and to share in a class with other people, because I do classes, so you can have up to 4 people in a class and learn that way, or an intense one-to-one just over a day. So there's all sorts of tailor-made packages that someone can do. And I would advise, if somebody is really interested, is to actually give me a ring or email me, and we can discuss what they want, and then we can discuss what package would be most suitable for them.
Okay. So, Melanie, obviously you offer a wide range of services, but if our readers are looking today on our site, could you give us maybe, I don't know, 1 or 2 top tips? We had someone in their late 40s, early 50s looking for some quick wins, how to look better. Maybe some top tips.
Well, yes. The first thing I would do is, first of all, the colour makes a huge difference to the way you look, like I said. And even if you're scared of bright colours, look in your wardrobe. I don't know if you know this, but basically most British women only wear 15% of their wardrobe. And what I want is, if you look at that 15% of the wardrobe, we'll look in that 15%, see the clothes that you actually wear, and look at the colours in there. Okay. Now, do you get compliments when you wear those particular clothes? Because what that means, it means that actually those colours are probably right for you without actually seeing them. I can't guarantee that. So that's one tip on looking at for colours. The second tip is, you need to keep your look updated. You need to stick with the trends. There is nothing more frumpy on a 40-year-old than dressing like you're 20 again, or just not keeping up with the trends, or wearing the trend that was 10 years ago. So that's really, really important.
So moving with the times.
Absolutely. Updating wardrobe constantly.
Okay.
But not to go mad, not to do high fashion. And
so what you're saying is then, if I hear you, that our wardrobes, that probably a lot of listeners will be thinking a crown full with clothes they don't wear. There's probably about 15% that actually they'll be wearing. It's probably look at that and see what they get the compliments from, and start there maybe with those clothes, because that might be a clue as to what suits them.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. Picking the colours, don't do the neutrals. So avoid blacks, browns, navies. Do what you think a colour.
Okay, very good, thank you. So Melanie, if people were listening and thinking they would like to employ the services of an image consultant, what would you advise they should be looking for as to who to pick? What would give them an indication that they were going to someone who was reputable?
Okay, the first thing I'll say, the worst people to go shopping with generally are your best friends and parents and people you know, or even husbands, because they basically probably say they have their own agendas. Personal shoppers again can give you some advice, but they're not really qualified. They know the stock in their shops. And they can give you some sort of objective help. What I really recommend is you go to a quality brand of image consultant, or follow recommendations from friends who have been to other image consultants. So, for example, I'm with House of Colour, and we are the only organisation in our industry that has been awarded the Investors in People Gold Award, and there's hardly any companies that have actually even been that throughout the country. So you need a quality service like that, but also look at the consultant involved. Does she talk the talk but also walk the walk? That's just as important to look at too.
Okay, that's very interesting. Thank you.
My pleasure.
So, and finally, thank you very much for speaking to us today. If people wanted to get in touch with you, I understand you're based in Leicester.
That's right.
How can they find you? What are your details?
Okay, they can go can find me on my website, which is www.house.houseofcolour. So colour spelled obviously the English way with a U. .co.uk/Melanie Taylor. So that's MELANIE TAYLOR.
Okay, so that's houseofcolour.co.uk/Melanie Taylor, if I said that correctly.
Yeah, and it's Melanie Taylor, all one word, and House of Colour is all one word at the beginning too. There's no breaks in it.
That's lovely. Well, thank you very much for your time today.
My pleasure.
That's been very interesting. I'm sure everyone found it very informative. Thank you.
Thank you.